Zebediah, folks, Sprinter of the Year.
But up they come, it's a one dog, go Zebediah, catch me if you can.
Away goes Zebediah, starting to open up big time here. It's up by about 5.
Thank you, Tommy. I spent about half an hour trying to work out those statistics last night, Tommy, and if I'd known you were going to have them for me, I wouldn't have wasted that time. I haven't been this nervous since Zebediah's first race in New Zealand. Vaughan Clark, who's now a professional punter in Melbourne on the greyhounds only, rang up a couple of years ago and said, we've got this dog, we can buy it for $2,000 Australian. It's the cheapest dog we ever bought. He said, it's a bit of a flying machine, but it's also got a bit of form, the wrong sort of form in Australia, where he had been put out for not pursuing the lure. He went to Ascot Park. We kept it suitably quiet. He went out at $1.50. He missed the kick by about 10 lengths. He caught the field like he was going to swallow them, and that's exactly what he did to the 7th dog. Fortunately, he was that far off the lure, the stipendiary stewards neglected to see it. And we breathed a sigh of relief. He was allowed to go around the next week at Forbury Park, and I think he won his next 5 starts on 3 different tracks. The people to thank for the success of Zebediah, Vaughan Clark, who over the last 5 years has sourced some outstanding greyhounds for the 3 of us. We're 3 friends that met in Wellington when we were all working there. Ironically, of the 3 owners, 2 of them are from Hamilton, and the only one that's not from Hamilton's here tonight to accept the award. Vaughan, as I say, is now ensconced in Melbourne and doing very well. And Jason Tan's in Hong Kong. He did text me today. I did fear that he was going to write one of his famous speeches that would have taken about 3 hours to deliver. He didn't. But on their behalf, I would very much like to thank Dave and Jean Fahey and their team, who sent him around 48 times in the season, which is outstanding. 21 wins, as Tommy said. I must admit that when we were clinging on by the skin of our teeth towards the end of the season, I probably wasn't too bothered whether Zebediah got knocked off, because, I mean, he's not the fastest sprinter around. I mean, we know that. The dogs like Bright Star and Dixie Lee, who've got more raw speed than Zebediah. But when I thought about it and went back through his record, I think he's a thoroughly deserving winner, because he won on 4 different tracks. Addington, of course, being his home base, was his main one, and he won 7 in a row there at one stage. But he also was able to win at Wanganui, at Cambridge, and at Manukau. And his best win, as Tommy said, was at Cambridge the night that he everything just went beautifully for him, and he won the Dennis Cole Memorial Waikato Sprint by 7 lengths. It's a nice race to win, and he clocked at 20.79. That was his performance of the year. And although he didn't win any of the big races, the Group 2s, he did win a semi-final of the Galaxy. He won a heat of the Dash for Cash and a heat of the Railway. So I think he is a thoroughly deserving winner. And Dave and Jean, the way you turned him out week after week after week, I thank you very much. We've passed Zebediah on now to Ashley Bradshaw. She's a person who looks after her greyhounds. She's going to race him a few times, and then he'll see out his retirement days there. And it's a nice way to bring this to an end, the 3 of us, Jason and Vaughan and I. Zebediah's the last dog we've raced, because we've kind of gone our separate ways, unfortunately, in terms of where we live. We'll always maintain a bond. It just won't be through the dogs. Vaughan's got himself some nice ones in Melbourne. Jason's got the odd thoroughbred interest here and there. He's gone international. But Zebediah, a great way to close our cheapest dog, and he's come away with this title. Thanks to the Greyhound Association for putting on the awards tonight. Hope you thoroughly enjoy yourself. Thank you.
On we go to the middle distance Greyhound of the Year. I'm going to ask Dave Emerson, Greyhound Racing New Zealand board member, to come forward to make the presentation, please, David. The winner here is Pretty Good, trained by Dave and Jean Fahey. Let's have a look at the action of the middle distance Greyhound of the Year, Pretty Good.
Pretty Good start 100, he's a Group 2 winner. But up they come, and Pretty Good is too good. Congratulations to Jean and David Fahey and Pretty Good.
We actually didn't know whether we'd won this tonight. We actually thought that which one was it? One of Gary's won, so I'm sorry, I'm a bit hopeless with names. He'd beaten us, but apparently it was only half a point. So we're extremely pleased to be here. Unfortunately, Tim was unable to come across. We're very fortunate to have met Tim through our association with Awesome Bender. He was the owner of Awesome Bender. Christy suggested that Tim speak to us when he was looking at sending dogs to New Zealand. And so we're very lucky that Tim sent Pretty Good over to us. And he was actually one of the first dogs that was sent over to us. Tim is a young trainer. He's very knowledgeable and a very unassuming young man, as a lot of you have met him. And he doesn't say boo, but when he says something, it's he knows his stuff, let's say that. He is actually a very successful trainer and breeder in New South Wales, and he actually started with Miss Beasley, and he actually got a special dispensation to actually race at, I think it was the age of 16, in his own name. And Miss Beasley is actually the dam of Pretty Good. Pretty Good was one of the first greyhounds he sent over, and obviously a very good result for us. And from that one result, we've actually got quite a number of dogs from Tim, and Timmy's been actually really amazing in sending some quite good dogs over recently with some of those other ones that he sent to us. Bobby is his kennel name, and he's a very cruisy, relaxed greyhound, and he's my favourite. I wasn't allowed to keep him, unfortunately. I wanted to keep him, but I wasn't allowed to. His favourite place was actually travelling. He would sit in that van and he would be happy to be in the van, and it was very difficult to get him out of the van. And to take him up to the race kennels, he'd sort of mosey on down, mooching. You wouldn't even think he was a race dog. But when you got him out of the race kennels for the race, a different dog. He was jumping, there was a bit of a skip in his step, and he knew what he was doing. And that obviously showed in what he did this season. I believe it was his professional attitude is the reason why he was so successful. And hopefully he can pass that professional attitude on to his progeny, as he has now served 2 bitches. And he is at stud at Blair Shores, so I wish Blair all their success with Bobby, and if he isn't going to be successful there, I really want him to come home to where he started in New Zealand. So thanks to Tim for entrusting him to us, and also thanks to Bobby for being so successful this season. Thank you.
This greyhound has done a marvellous job for the industry here in New Zealand, is Thrilling Brat, owned by Gary Harding, trained by Karen Walsh. Let's have a look at Thrilling Brat.
Racing, Thrilling Brat out beautifully, and Thrilling Brat is careering away. What a good dog, Thrilling Brat.
Have a look at the Brat round the outside, big square stop and races away. Thrilling Brat will go away with a prize here.
Just looking at the stats for Thrilling Brat for the previous season, 15 starts for 11 wins. $93,515 in stake money. Won the Group 2 T McDonald Cup at Cambridge. Won the Group 1 Wanganui Distance Final at Hattrick Raceway. Won the Group 1 Duke of Edinburgh Silver Collar at Manukau. And also won the Group 1 New Zealand Stayers Cup at Addington. Marvellous performance by a great greyhound. Gary, your turn to say a few words.
Good, thank you. I'd like to stand here and say, like Jean did, how professional his dog is. We all know that he's wayward, he loses his way, he visits everyone in the stand, but somehow he still does it. I keep on telling Karen, I can't handle this, and it may be the reason I have my heart done. But in any event, he gives us great pleasure, and it's all down to Karen. As I've always said, she does a marvellous job with the dogs, and I just don't know where we'd be without her. We love our racing, Linda and I, and it's made exceptionally easy because of Karen's involvement. She virtually runs the place. I just pay the bills. Yeah. There's a conversation at the table tonight about someone said they made money out of greyhounds. I tell you what, he's not leaving that table until I get this here. But seriously, thank you everyone for tonight. It's been a great night, and I'm sure it will go on to be a greater night still. Thank you.
There we are, there's Gary Harding. Right, on we go now to the next award, which is the Parla Mountains Dam of the Year. And the winning greyhound is owned by Gary Cleve and Galen Turnbull. Love of History is the winner. Let's have a look at the video and ask Corey Parla Mountains to make his way here to make the presentation.
Now looking to punch up on the inside is No Escape. Going to be No Escape, and Gary Cleve gets there.
Look at No Advantage. And now it's away brilliantly tonight. It's going to zip round and grab the lead. No Advantage by 6 lengths.
Love of History, the Dam of the Year winner here tonight. 13 individual winners. They accumulated 77 wins for the season and won $178,099. Galen had no hesitation in telling me that Gary is doing the talking. So here is Gary Cleve.
Yeah, she could have had a mic and an audience and had plenty to say, but a little bit of stage fright. Very satisfying to win this award. Not so much for Galen and I, but for Maddie herself. You've probably heard my story of the bitch we were offered from Australia. Didn't have the money to buy her, but we had to sort of take it up through Murphy's Law. If we turned her down, would have been egg on our face, and thankfully we did. Very pleasing. This is the third time that she's been Dam of the Year in New Zealand, from only 4 litters of pups to race. Her progeny, without sort of throwing a superstar, have been real good earners for us. Her progeny have earned in the vicinity of $800,000, throw in probably $100,000 worth of breeders' bonuses. She's been a little gold mine for us. Yeah, so to win it the third time was very special for us and for Maddie. Thank you.
New Zealand bred Greyhound of the Year. This will be asking Graham Kelly from the Greyhound Racing New Zealand board to come forward, Graham, and make the presentation to the winner of this award is, of course, Bright Star, trained by Bob Bond at Cambridge.
Racing, Bright Star pings away 1-2 already. Bright Star explosive. Oski starts to run along the inside. A little bit, Jim. Too good again. Ah, she's away. You little beauty.
Thank you very much for that. But that is true, like I say. It wasn't the exact words I used to the doctor, but so I won't repeat it here. No, I had my first dog when I was 15, and it was a few years ago now. And as I said, I've had a few good dogs in my time, but this one, it got past the joke. Like I say, that on the TV and what have you, they kept saying, the TA, they were saying that someone had had 10,000 on her, and then the next week someone had had 20,000 on. And like I say, I like to have a bet, but I'm not in that league, and it wasn't me. Now, what I'd like to, I'll just make like a little thing here. When we first started in dogs, we were all at Waiuku, there's Pat Patterson and all that lot. And let's say we started off with the sweepstakes. There was Whangarei, Auckland at Kumeu, and we were going down to Gisborne, Rotorua, Tokeroa, and you were lucky if you could pay for your your nominations out of your prize money, let alone your petrol. But it's all slowly come together, and as I said, when Auckland were raced here at Cambridge, at Auckland, at Hamilton, I won the Auckland Derby. It was worth $150 to the whole race. It cost us $25 for nominations, and I can't. My arithmetic doesn't work out, but I think I'd have got about $30 or $40 out of it. But it was the fun of the racing, and to see the greyhound racing go from that stage to what we are today. And I wish all the young people, like I say, to keep it going and reap the benefits of it. But like I say, think of us oldies who got the ball rolling in the early stages. And as I said, if it keeps going like it is, we're already in front of the trots, and I want to see us right up there, you know, everywhere. Yeah. Thank you very much all for listening to me, my dribbling on, but I'll try to do my best. Thank you all very much.
Here he is, ladies and gentlemen, Bob Bond, owner trainer, the New Zealand Bred Greyhound of the Year, Bright Star, Strike Rate Trainer, of the Year, also awarded on points. I'm going to ask Danny Garrick from the Motor Trade Association to come forward, Danny, to make this presentation. The strike rate trainers for the year are Jean and Dave Fahey. Let's have a look at the screen.
And racing, first to break the box is Whitey of White Out, but Whitey has got the good one horse coming up. Whitey wins the New Zealand Cup.
Thanks very much. It's a huge thrill to win this award, especially in the presence of my boyhood idol, Sir Colin Meads. We had fantastic staff. I suppose Jean's not my staff, but she does all the boring stuff like the accounts and GST and stuff like that. And Ross, who's been with us for about 5 years, he's had one day off in all that time. He's really come on heaps and bounds, and great staff with Jack and Mac and Mark and Jed. Jed comes to help as well. Mark's our number one handler. He's a really machine. Helps at the trials every Monday as well. It was got an exciting finish to the end of the year with the awards. The award, I had a good lead, and Karen Welsh was hunting me down. Wouldn't want to go on another couple of days or I would have been beaten. But yeah, well done to Karen too. And a big thanks, couldn't do it without our fantastic owners. Thanks very much.
Trainer of the Year, sponsored by Inter-Islander. Some marvellous stats to take on board here as well. There was a $1,000 bonus here from Inter-Islander, a travel voucher to the winning trainer as Trainer of the Year, and that goes to John McInerney. I'm asking Chris Bayliss, CEO of New Zealand Racing Board, to come forward and make that presentation. Thank you, Chris.
Raw Energy has 4 lengths on Gingerango, and Raw Energy an emphatic win in the Dunedin Cup.
Nearly there. We're off. Feel the way rocketing out was Homebush Chopper. Homebush Chopper is going to beat in photos. Drives down and fences.
Thank you. I hate this button. Yeah, he's right. We have got a great team. There's always someone on the road. Inter-Island gets a fair bit of our business, I can tell you. And we get a heap of MTA vouchers, which helps us along the way. I couldn't do it without the team we've got, and I thank them very much. I thank our owners. I thank my wife, who won't come up because she's got a bad leg. But yeah, it's been a great season. The stake money's definitely helped. Saying that we're 200 plus wins down on the season before, which I still don't know how we managed, but obviously we had good dogs. At the moment we're rebuilding our team. We've got a lot of young ones, and it takes a while to get the wins out of them, but they'll come. Yeah, all I can say is thanks very much, and thanks to the girls in the office. Jim, you've got a great team of staff up there in the office. Nothing's a problem to them, and we really appreciate it. And we appreciate all the help we get around the tracks. We couldn't do it without the other trainers who help us on race day, and I thank them. It's just, yeah, just thank you very much, everybody. Cheers.
Here we are, folks. There's the Inter-Islander Trainer of the Year, John McInerney. This is the Greyhound of the Year. This is the secret one that I got told about, I don't know how many times. This is very confidential. You do not say a word. I said, okay. Mum's the word. I'm going to ask Glenda Hughes, the chair of the New Zealand Racing Board. Glenda, if you could come forward and make the presentation to the Greyhound of the Year. There are 3 finalists. The 3 finalists being Clone Your Own, the second finalist being Thrilling Brat, and the third finalist being Pretty Good. Those are the 3 finalists that were presented to the selection panel, and they tell me they were pulling their hair out making the decision that they have finally come up with to present this night as the Greyhound of the Year. Let's have a look at the screen.
Racing in the cup, and White here jumped very well out wide and now showing speed. The inside of that is pretty good, and now looking to get a run up on the inside is pretty good and kicking too hard. Pretty good all the way in the cup.
And we race, getting away nicely, middle of the pack here is Thrilling Brad, and out go he gets off the rail. Does Thrilling Brad, she rails underneath Thrilling Quest, but he balances up. Thrilling Brad, you're not a brat, you're a beaut, he wins it.
This is it, the Group 2 ready. And racing in the Galaxy, Pretty Good was a little slow. One of the best down Tipper Mary, and also coming out quickly, Rosca. Off the track, Clone Your Own, they turn on, look at Clone Your Own. It's moved up and hit the lead and dashes away. Clone Your Own for the Group 2.
The winner of the Greyhound of the Year for the previous season goes to Thrilling Brat.
Thrilling Brat, you're not a brat, you're a beaut, he wins it.
Yeah, he's just sensational, you know, what can you say?
Thrilling Brat when it comes to staying races, he's one of the best. That's why he's the best in the business.
What a year it's been. thoroughbreds, now greyhounds. It's been a marvellous year of racing. It's just a marvellous feeling to win this award. I've been fortunate enough to have dogs, be involved with dogs 4 times before. This is the 5th time. And there's a trivia question for you, try and name those. But it has been, it's just an award that everyone dreams about getting. And to get it for the 5th time, or be involved for the 5th time, is just unbelievable. As I've said, Karen, anyone else but Karen couldn't train this dog. He is a cartload of monkeys. He tests you every day. Before the races, quite often I'll see him, and I'll say to him, "How are we going to go today, buddy?" He'll look at me, and he lies. But the racing public seem to like him. He always starts at short odds, and deservedly so. But no, it's marvellous. His mother was a great bitch in her own right, and has gone on to this. Hopefully she's left another one in Zoom who will replace him. Brad is nearly 5 years of age and still doing it, although coming to the end of it, as evident in his last couple of races. But he'll retire at our place, a happy dog when he does retire. We're going to start him, where we'll start him? In the Nancy Cabane, and we'll see how he goes there, and after that we'll make a decision on what he does. But thanks everyone, it's a great award, thank you very much.
Right, Gary, I ask you to get your award here from Brenda, the major award for the evening, and I'm going to sneak down here and talk to this lovely lady. Karen, Thrilling Brat. I know this greyhound is so very special, so very, very special. For me, I think the highlights for the season were 2 races in particular. I think the Stayers Cup win at Addington was a marvellous win, but the Duke of Edinburgh at Manukau was just something else. What I've got to ask you is, we were so used to watching when the lids flew open, just look at the back of the field because that's where Brad's going to be, and then start looking to the outside of the track because that's where Brad's going to be. But for some reason, I don't know what, you must have had some strong words to this greyhound, because he started jumping and he started getting in the races, and then he just led and he just went further and further in front. What happened there?
I really have no idea. But it's a racing trait I was pretty pleased he picked up.
Very special greyhound for you, Karen. It's going to be a sad day when Brad's no longer going to be there in your team, but as Gary said, you've got some nice ones to deal with, but it'll be a sad day for you when Brad's no longer with you.
Yeah, it's always hard to retire the good ones, but he'll always be at home, so we will be with him for a long time.
Okay, you do a marvellous job, you know, as Gary has already alluded to, with you're very articulate and you're passionate about what you do, and you turn your greyhounds out magnificently. You must work some hours.
Oh, every now and then I pop down there. No, they're magnificent animals and they deserve every minute of our time.
Okay, well, what you don't know, I don't think, is a very avid Warrior supporter, David, that you offended. That your team offended, but she is a very, very avid Warrior supporter, is Karen Walsh. And I don't think anybody listens to Talkback Radio as much as Karen Walsh does. But she does listen to an awful lot of Talkback Radio because she's on the road all the time, travelling with the dogs. Congratulations to you people. Gary Harding, to Taylor, to Karen Walsh people. There are the people connected with Thrilling Brat, this year's Greyhound of the Year.